Hi, Tale Recap Plus is here. Before we start, please note, spoilers ahead. Today, I'm going to explain the movie titled The Unhealer, an American science fiction and horror movie released in 2020. Reverend Pfluger, an old and weak man, is doing some kind of ceremony at the Indian burial grounds at the beginning of the movie. All of a sudden, a lightning strike hits him and throws him away. He then walks away with a smile on his face, which means the routine worked. He goes to a girl named Kelly who has a disorder called pica, which means she can't eat enough. He would rather eat the styrofoam cup than the ramen inside it. Soon after, his mean classmates, led by Nelson, approach him. He's even called a trash boy. The god Dominique comes to protect him. The boys don't pay attention to her, though, and start shoving him into a trash can while one of them records the whole thing. Dom asks Sarah for a ride to school in her car after the boys run away, but Sarah turns him down. Short story. Kelly gets to school while eating his styrofoam cup. All of his friends at school are making fun of him because the video has gone around. Kelly goes home from school and meets his mom, Bernice. He picks up the ticket and eats it while he helps her. On the other hand, Dom's mom thinks she's falling in love with Nelson. But Dom says she's not because she can't like someone who is mean to her. It makes her mad that her mom also thinks Kelly is a weird boy. It turns out that Dom has liked Kelly since they were in middle school. The scene then shifts to Red Elk, a Native American who just found out that the grave site's secret power has been taken. Kelly's body is not as good as it used to be because of her eating problem. He is weak and not getting enough food. This is something the doctor can help him with because he thinks it's internal. Pfluger finally shows up again, and this time he says he has a superpower that can heal any disease. All the people nearby are shocked when he heals an old woman's illness just by touching her. She sees the miracle and asks the old man to help heal Kelly. He says yes to that. Red Elk suddenly walks up to Pfluger and slaps him. But the pain goes to Pfluger instead. There is no pain at all for the old man. He then says that the healing power doesn't belong to him and will kill him in the end. He tells Pfluger to give back the power. But the cocky old man says no and walks away. Pfluger comes with Bernice when she goes home. Kelly's condition is getting worse, and he starts to heal right away. But all of a sudden, the old man seems to be able to feel Kelly's pain. He takes a short break and eats his magic powder because he is uncomfortable. He then keeps taking care of the poor boy. But Pfluger is in terrible pain when he touches Kelly, which makes the cigarette fall to Kelly's chest. Even though he tries to fight the pain, he falls and dies right there. After a short time, Kelly suddenly gets more energized and says he's hungry. In short, the cops show up, and Adler notices that the hole in the chest that the cigarette had made earlier has disappeared, which makes Kelly's mom confused. When Kelly is fixing his bike the next day, he cuts his finger by mistake, but the wound magically goes away. He then tries to tell his mom what happened, but she doesn't believe him. Kelly runs into Dom and Sarah on his way to school. They are shocked to see that he looks better and is healthier than yesterday. Wilson's brother Reed attacks Kelly after they leave and starts punching him. But the pain is transferred to Reed, not Kelly. He tries to hurt him with a piece of wood but fails. Reed gets hurt all over his face and runs away when he realizes he can't beat the new Kelly. That night, Guess, Reed's dad and the football coach at their school, shows up to find out what happened to his son. In her words, Reed hurt himself. He tells them to leave, but Gus doesn't believe him. Kelly finally tells his mom that he can transfer pain and promises that no one will ever hurt them again. He can handle the smoke lighter too. Kelly's crazy fantasy starts the next day while he's in class, picturing himself with Dom, who acts bad. Sarah comes along, even though she really doesn't like Kelly. It's strange that the feeling from the thought also affects Dom and Sarah in real life, making Sarah scream with pleasure. The boys try to bother and approach Dom at a campfire event. But this time Kelly shows up and protects her. They were about to fight when Gus stepped in and stopped them. That night, Kelly is walking home when the boys see him and try to scare him. Kelly freaks out and tries to escape the car, but he falls off her bike, and the car hits him by accident. However, Kelly is not hurt at all. Instead, Brad, the driver, feels all the pain, which kills him right away. When the other boys see that Kelly is okay, they are scared and run away from the scene. Not long after, the cops and others show up at the crime scene. Kelly tells his mom about the events and shows Dom his power. Nelson, on the other hand, says that Kelly pulled himself in front of the car on purpose and that the airbag killed Brad. Things are getting better between Kelly and Dom. Kelly even asked Dom to go on a date. But the boys are out for payback and are making a plan. Red Elk meets Kelly at work and asks him how he was able to survive the car accident. He then says that Pfluger helped him and doesn't know anything about the power. On his way back home, Kelly finds that his mom is not in good health. After that, he goes to get an aspirin. The boys have been waiting outside the house and think Bernie's left. As planned, they start pulling the base of the container with Gus's car, which makes it fall and break the gas pipe. Bernice tries to get out of the house, but gas leaks cause it to explode, killing her quickly. Kelly is shocked when she gets home and learns that her mother has died. He is taken to the hospital, where Adler shows up and tries to help him. Red Elk suddenly walks up to Adler and tells him that Kelly is using their ancestors' power. He asks Adler to help him get the power back. Kelly goes to Pfluger's grave after his mom's funeral and eats a vine by accident, making him hurt and throw up. Sarah sees what's going on and then leaves. The poor kid is offered a place to live by Adler as a way to help him. Adler told them on the way that the supports for the container were pulled out on purpose and that his mom's death wasn't an accident. Soon after, Nelson and the boys, who are on their way to the river, see Kelly and make fun of him from their car. Since then, Kelly has come to the conclusion that they killed his mother. He then jumps out of the police car. At some point, Kelly finds the boys having fun by the river. When Tucker jumps into the water, the other kids start throwing rocks at him. Tucker's shirt is taken by Kelly as she sneaks in. As usual, he eats it first and then ties himself up with it. Tucker feels the effect right away, which makes him drown. While Reed is running away, Nelson tries to help him, but it's too late. Then Kelly shows up and tries to do the same thing. But Adler shows up on time, and Kelly runs away. It looks like Tucker is dead. So Adler starts questioning the boys. They tell him it was Kelly's fault. As soon as Dom learned about Tucker's crime, she told him to stop killing people and instead try to get them to confess. The next day, Kelly is late to chemistry class and makes fun of Tony, which makes him say that he killed his mom. Tony is very angry, so he pours a chemical solution into Kelly's face. It hits Tony in the face and kills him right away. It shocks the girls a lot, and Kelly runs off while Adler walks into class. That night, Sarah goes up to Nelson and tells him what she saw at the funeral earlier. They visit the Pfluger grave and take the plant that made Kelly sick earlier. Nelson makes the mixture and puts it in an extinguisher. As the next day goes by, Adler finds the chains that were used to remove Kelly's container supports in Gus's truck. Then he goes up to the boys right away and pushes them to confess, but they keep lying and saying they don't know anything. She sneaks into Nelson's car on the other side and takes a power drill. He then shows up out of the blue with his gun, while Nelson is already ready with his fire extinguisher. Kelly starts to hit his own knee with a drill, making Nelson feel the same pain. After a while, Adler finally believes what Red Elk said, but Dom tells him to stop. Nelson tries to shoot him with the liquid that makes Kelly weak. Leave your comment in the comment section. We will see you next time. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you can watch more interesting videos like this. Thanks for watching.